Bob Murphy with Ralph Kiner and Lindsey Nelson. Greeting you from Shea Stadium and tonight's important game between the New York Mets and St. Louis Cardinals. At Wrigley Field this afternoon, the Montreal Expos defeated the Chicago Cubs 7-3. For the Mets, the magic number is 2. If the Mets can win tonight and tomorrow night, it is all over. The pitchers in tonight's game, and the Mets face a rugged assignment. On the mound for St. Louis, last year's Cy Young and Most Valuable Player Award winner, one of the incomparable right-handers in baseball, Bob Gibson. And facing the challenge for the New York Mets, slender, talented right-hander Jim McAndrew. We'll be back with the start of tonight's game in just one moment. Now here's a word from Rheingold.
It's nothing new. It costs money to brew a great beer. It cost money back in 1837. It costs money today. Rheingold started brewing beer in this country in 1837, using the finest ingredients money could buy. And even though things cost a lot more today, Rheingold's still buying those same high-quality ingredients. The finest malt, choice imported and domestic hops, costly ingredients that give Rheingold its great extra dry flavor and its proud 10-minute head.
My beer is Rheingold, the dry beer. Ask for Rheingold whenever you buy beer. Rheingold's head stays so high. Rheingold's brewed extra dry. Won't you try extra dry Rheingold beer?
The Rheingold 10-minute head. Haven't you timed it yet? Rheingold Breweries, New York and Orange, New Jersey.
Now both starting pitchers, Jim McAndrew and Bob Gibson, have completed their pregame warm-ups. For the lineups and batting orders, let's check with Ralph Kiner.
All right, Bob Murphy for the St. Louis Cardinals. The leadoff batter will be the left fielder, Lou Brock. Batting second in center field, Kurt Flood. Batting third in right field, Beta Benson. Batting fourth, playing first base, Joe Torre. Batting fifth and catching, Tim McCarver. Batting sixth at third base, Mike Shannon. Batting seventh, playing second base, Julian Javier. Batting eighth at shortstop, Dal Maxwell. And the pitcher, Bob Gibson, batting ninth. For the Mets, the leadoff batter will be Tommy Agee, playing center field. Batting second and playing third base, Wayne Garrett. Batting third in left field, Art Shamsky. Batting fourth, playing second base, Ken Boswell. Batting fifth and playing first base, Ed Kranepool. Batting sixth in right field, Ron Swoboda. Batting seventh and catching, Jerry Grody. Batting eighth, playing shortstop, Bud Harrelson. And the pitcher, Jim McAndrew, batting ninth. And now the New York Mets are taking the field. The Mets have played 16 games with the St. Louis Cardinals. The Mets have won 10. They have lost 6. And here at Shea Stadium, the Mets have won 4 and lost 4. In September, the Mets have won 18 ball games of 25 games played. And the Mets take a 5.5 game lead in as the Cubs lost today by a score of 7-3 to Montreal. Cubs have a record of 89-67. They trail the Mets 6 games in the loss column. And the magic number, as Bob Murphy pointed out, is 3. Any combinations of Met wins make that 2. Any combination of Met wins and Cub losses adding up to 2 will give the Mets the pennant. And now our national anthem. national anthem from Shea Stadium. And if you have not made your plans up tonight, we still have seats available here at Shea Stadium. We have a good crowd, but you can get in. And the Mets playing the St. Louis Cardinals in the second game of their three-game series. Mets winning last night as Tom Seaver picked up his 24th. This broadcast comes to you through the courtesy of Rhinegold Breweries Incorporated. Jim McAndrew will be the starting pitcher for the Mets. He'll be opposing Bob Gibson. And the Mets with a record of 94 wins and 61 losses. 5.5 games in first place. Final game of the year here at Shea in the regular season. And it's going to be Gary Gentry tomorrow night. He has won 11 and lost 12. And Steve Carlton, who set an all-time record for strikeouts in one nine-inning ball game of 19, going for the Cardinals. Carlton 17 and 10 for the year. And that game tomorrow night, starting at 7:05, and everyone here at Shea Stadium tomorrow night will receive a special gift from the New York Mets. Now Lou Brock coming to the batter's box, and here for the play-by-play, Bob Murphy.
All right, Ralph. Hi, everybody. Lou Brock will be leading off against Jim McAndrew. The possibilities are now numerous. If the Mets could win tonight, conceivably, they would be champions when they came to the ballpark tomorrow night, should Montreal beat the Cubs tomorrow afternoon. It all boils down to the fact that the magic number is 2. And the first pitch of the game is over, strike one call. Lou Brock hitting at .298. 33 doubles, 10 triples, 12 home runs. Swing out of miss on a breaking pitch, strike 2. In the infield, New York playing Eddie Cranepool at first, Ken Boswell at second. Bud Harrelson at short, and Wayne Garrett at third. Now the two-strike delivery. Ground ball to second base. He broke the bat. Boswell throws to Cranepool, 1 out. Bat broke into 2 pieces, and the big part, the barrel of the bat, flew almost out of the feet of Jim McAndrew. By winning last night on a strong pitching performance by Tom Seaver, the Mets won their 10th game of the year from St. Louis and nailed down the season series. First time in Mets history they have had the edge for the season against St. Louis. High pop foul off the bat of Kurt Flood. Grody coming back, no play. Ball goes over the dugout and lands in the field box area. We have a beautiful night for the ball game. In the outfield, Art Shamsky is playing left, Tommy Agee in center. Ron Swoboda is around and right. Leon Jones may return to the starting lineup tomorrow night. And the pitch on the way, inside and high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Now Grody setting up the target, and the 1-1 delivery, a swing and a miss at a high breaking ball. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jim McAndrew came up to the Mets toward the middle of last season and made his major league debut out in St. Louis in a duel with Bob Gibson. Cardinals won that ball game 2-0. Off the outside corner, it's 2-2. But on that showing, Jim McAndrew convinced the Mets that he was ready to pitch in the major leagues. This year, Mac has won 6 and lost 7. Ground ball toward the hole. Garrett going to his glove side is up with it. Throws to Cranepool, 2 down. So 2 set aside. Now the number 3 hitter in the order, Vada Penson.
Number 28. Vada Penson. Number 28.
Vada Penson batting at .257. His batting average has been off some this year, but he has driven the runs in. He has 70 RBIs. Let's play the outfield around to right against the left-hand hitter. And the pitch is on the outside corner, called strike 1. Andy Olson is the plate umpire, with Al Barlick, the senior umpire, working first base. Ed Vargo umpiring at second, and John Kibler is at third. And the fastball just misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Montreal defeated Chicago 7-3 in an afternoon game. Now the 1-1 pitch. He jammed him but missed inside, and the count is 2 balls and a strike. In the game at Chicago, Bill Stoneman went all the way, stopping Chicago on 6 base hits. And the Expos beat 17-game winner Kenny Holtzman. Rusty Staub and Ron Fairley hit home runs for Montreal. Drive to left center. It's deep out toward the wall. It bounces off the wall where it's grabbed by Art Shamsky. And Pinson pulls in at second with a double. Long drive, placed up the alley in left center field. It bounced off the fence where Shamsky grabbed it. So Veda Pinson is in scoring position with a 2-out double. For Pinson, his 22nd double of the year. Cleanup batter Joe Torre stepping in. He leads the Cardinals in home runs and runs batted in, and Joe is hitting .286. Breaking ball in at the knees, call strike 1. Umpire Andy Olson behind the plate reminds you somewhat of Chris Pellicutis. He is very deliberate in his strike calls. Now Jim McAndrew makes the 1-second stop. The pitch to Joe Torre, outside and high, 1 ball, 1 strike. The Dodgers and Reds playing a doubleheader in Cincinnati. And the Dodgers have all but been KO'd. Cincinnati beat the Dodgers 6-3 in the first game. Merritt the winner, Osteen the loser. Joe Torre cocks the bat. And he pops this one high into the air, out behind second base. Tommy Agee gliding in, is under it waiting, and he has it. The side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. And the score in the middle of the first. The Cardinals nothing, and the Mets coming to bat.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to jump off this bridge.
Hold on.
Look, pal, now it's an ugly world, and I'm going to go.
Don't tell me. I stood right where you're standing just last month.
What?
I was going to jump, too. Then I thought to myself, jumping from a bridge is kind of squirrely. Real people don't jump from bridges.
No kidding. So what did you do?
I tried to think of the most subtle, inconspicuous, sophisticated way out.
Yeah, and what was that? Huh?
I started smoking cigarettes.
Oh, cigarettes. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's got class. You know? Have you got a cigarette for me?
Sure. One of the new long ones. They're fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever thought about increasing your life insurance?
No. As a matter of fact, I haven't.
I know a little place a few blocks from here. Nice Italian food. We can talk, smoke a lot, you know.
Hey, good, yeah.
This message was brought to you by your American Cancer Society.
Gibson has won 18 and lost 12. Against New York this year, Gibson has won 1 and lost 2. The games Gibson has been involved in have all been hard-fought ball games. Big hand for Tommy Agee as he leads off against Gibson. Early in the year, Gibson beat the Mets 3-1 in a complete game at Shea Stadium. Fastball, inside, ball 1. But he lost to the Mets in St. Louis 2-1, and he lost a complete game at Shea Stadium 4-3. Now the rugged right-hander winds and deals and misses outside. Ball 2, it's 2-0. Tim McCarver behind the plate, and a pop fly into short center. Flood racing in is getting under it. And in shallow right center, he makes the grab. 1 down.
Batting in the second position, third baseman, number 11.
Wayne Garrett coming up.
Garrett, number 11.
Curve fouled back toward our broadcasting booth and out of play. fastball taken by Garrett. 1 ball, 1 strike. In the St. Louis infield, Joe Torre playing first. Julian Javier at second. Val Maxwell at short. Mike Shannon at third. Long drive hit by Garrett to deep right field. Back toward the wall. Caught by Penson right against the fence. Beautiful catch by Veda Penson, the Cardinal right fielder, after a long, long run. As he reached the wall at the 371 mark, he reached over his head and pulled it down. Garrett just missing a home run. Cardinal outfield defensively is exciting to watch. They have great speed in their outfield with Brock in left, Flood in center, and Penson in right. 2 outs and nobody on. Art Shamsky the batter. And the pitch on the way. Curve over a call strike. Art Shamsky batting .306 with 14 home runs and 45 runs batted in. Drive well hit to left field. Back goes Lou Brock. Back to the warning track, and he's there. Makes the catch. And Shamsky put Lou Brock to the fence at the 371 mark in left center. 2 long drives, both caught in the outfield. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. At the end of 1 inning, St. Louis Cardinals nothing and the New York Mets nothing. Tomorrow night, the Mets close out the regular home season with the St. Louis Cardinals. Traveling secretary Lou Niss of the New York Mets prepares a traveling itinerary prior to each road trip. You can quickly, at a glance at the itinerary, know exactly when you are scheduled to depart from a city. The regular season will wind up in Chicago. And at the bottom of the itinerary, Lou Niss has written out Destination Paradise. Ground ball smacked to second, a 1-hopper. Boswell to Cranepool. McCarver is up. The Mets do not know at this moment, assuming they can win the divisional title, where they'll be going. They'll be going probably either to San Francisco or Atlanta. The Giants lead Atlanta by a half game. But any way you look at it, for the Mets in this their 8th year, the destination is paradise. Now Mike Shannon faces Jim McAndrew. We're in the top of the second, no score. And the pitch is low outside, ball 1. Fastball down the middle, and Shannon was taking. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Very comfortable night in the ballpark. Good crowd on hand. Very important game for the Mets. They can drop that magic number to 1 if they can win. Swing and a miss and a slider, 1-2. Jim McAndrew's mound opponent, Bob Gibson, still has hopes of a 20-game season. Inside and low, it's 2-2. He has really lost some tough games. If he gets it, it will be his 4th 20-game season. The 2-2 delivery. Breaking ball that he checked up on just in time. It's outside and low, 3-2. Gibson missed the 20-game circle 2 years ago because of an injury. Had it not been for the injury, he undoubtedly would be trying to make it 5 in a row. Now McAndrew delivers 3-2. Ball, strike 3. Got the outside corner. For Mack, his first strikeout. And McAndrew looks like he has good stuff. So this should be a lively, exciting ball game. Julian Javier, the second baseman, will be hitting. For the finest products on the road, drive into Citgo, a nice place to visit. Now the windup. Here's the pitch by Mac, and Javier hits a foul pop-up over near the Cardinal dugout. Wayne Garrett on the warning track has a play and grabs it for the out. 1-2-3 inning for Jim McAndrew. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left on. Now, at the end of an inning and a half, the Cardinals nothing, the Mets nothing. Los Angeles Dodgers, in losing the first game of a doubleheader to Cincinnati, have now fallen 5 games behind. Boswell hits a drive to center field. Flood is standing there waiting, and he makes the catch, retiring Boswell. That's 3 long outfield drives that have been caught. Garrett and Shamsky both hit long drives that were caught up with in the opening inning. 1 out and nobody on. Eddie Craneville coming up. Eddie hitting .236 with the 11 home runs and 49 runs batted in. Now the pitch on the way, and a pop-up toward the mound. Gibson says, "I'll take it," and he does. Ball not high enough in the air for the other infielders to get under, so Gibson quickly signaled for it. He made a good pitch on Cranepool. He jammed it. In the second game tonight at Cincinnati, it will be Alan Foster for the Dodgers and Jerry Arrigo for Cincinnati. The Atlanta Braves hanging tight. They're only a half game behind the Giants, playing tonight in Houston. Now Ron Swoboda takes low, ball 1. George Stone will be on the mound for Atlanta and Jim Ray for the Houston Astros. The Giants play later tonight at San Diego. Swing and a miss, 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, the big story in baseball yesterday was Willie Mays. He became the second man in the history of baseball to hit 600 home runs. Ground ball hit hard, a base hit to left center by Ron Swoboda. Well, after hitting 3 long drives that were caught, Ron Swoboda hits a shot beyond the reach of Dal Maxwell into left center field for a base hit. It brings up Jerry Grody. Willie's 600th home run last night in San Diego came in a pinch hitting appearance and a won-a-ball game for the Giants. Now Joe Torre holds against the runner, and Gibson's pitch is swung and missed, strike 1. Grody hitting at .253. Since August the 1st, Jerry is over 300. 317 over that long period. Ground ball hit the shortstop. Dal Maxwell snags it and pegs across to Torre to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. At the end of 2 innings, the St. Louis Cardinals nothing and the New York Mets nothing.
Hello, this is Johnny Carson. For 19 years, Radio Free Europe has been providing the people of Czechoslovakia, Hungary, Poland, Romania, and Bulgaria with an alternative to the propaganda of the rigidly controlled communist press and radio. Radio Free Europe has become a voice of democratic opposition for these millions of East Europeans who have been denied the right to freedom of expression by their communist rulers. The people of East Europe believe in Radio Free Europe and rely on it as a trusted friend, as well as their principal source of true and unbiased information. They look upon Radio Free Europe as their own station and turn to it more than ever for inspiration in their continued efforts toward personal freedom and national independence. Write to Radio Free Europe for more information about current developments in East Europe and the work Radio Free Europe is doing for the East European people. The address, Radio Free Europe, Box 1969, Mount Vernon, New York. Thank you.
Now inning number 3 here at Shea. And to pick up the action for you, here's Ralph Kiner.
Okay, Bob Murphy, and hi, everyone. It's Dal Maxwell, the shortstop for the Cardinals, to lead off against Jim McAndrew. Cardinals have had 1 base hit. The Mets have had 1 base hit in the first 2 innings. Maxwell, a right-hand batter with an average of 174, and he lines one over the glove of Eddie Kranepool into shallow right center. It's backed up by Ron Swoboda, and Maxwell is on with the Cardinals' second hit. And as Bob Gibson comes to the plate, we'll pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
You're listening to New York Mets Baseball from WKAJ-FM 102.3 on your FM dial in Saratoga Springs, New York.
Ralph Kiner along with Bob Murphy and Lindsey Nelson from Shea Stadium. Bob Gibson, the batter, and the first pitch to Gibson is taken low, a breaking ball. It's ball one. Wayne Garrett, the Met third baseman, and Eddie Kranepool, the Met first baseman, were moving in looking for sacrifice. Gibson, a fine hitter. He's had 26 hits this year. He's batting .248. He's had 1 home run, 8 runs batted in, 5 doubles, and 105 times up. And the pitch is hit to center field, single. Coming in as Agee to field the ball on 1 hop, and 2 consecutive singles now off Jim McAndrew. 1 by Dow Maxwell, and 1 by Bob Gibson. And that brings up Lou Brock. Lou batting for the second time. He grounded out to second base his first time up. Brock batting at .297 for the year. He has 12 home runs, 47 runs batted in. He has a total of 189 base hits. He's been up 635 times, and he's had 33 doubles and 10 triples. Close stance, left-hand batter. And the pitch to Brock is a slider, low and inside the ball. One ball, no strikes. McAndrew again sets. Here's the pitch. Fastball line to third, taken by Garrett. The throw to second base is not in time. A good play by Boswell taking the throw as it almost hit Dow Maxwell going back to the bag. Line shot taken by Garrett at third. So the Mets get a hard out. And with 1 away, the batter will be Curt Flood. Flood has grounded out to third in his 1 appearance tonight. Average at .287 for the year. 4 home runs and 56 runs batted in. Runners at first and second base. 1 man out, top of the third, no score. And the pitch. It is a breaking pitch, low and away a ball. Flood started the swing, then held off. Now McAndrew again in the set position. And the 1-0 delivery. Grounded out towards second base, deflected by McAndrew. A force play will be pulled off at second base on Bob Gibson. And moving over to third on the out is Dow Maxwell, with Flood exchanging at first with Gibson. So if you're scoring, it goes 1-4-6. And the fact that McAndrew got his glove on that ball might have kept the Mets from having a double play. He slowed it down, and then Boswell had no choice but to throw to the shortstop covering at second. Now the batter is Vada Pinson, who doubled to left center field his first time up. Pinson batting at .259, 10 home runs and 70 runs batted in. And McAndrew's first pitch. Hit down toward Kranepool. He takes the 1-hopper as he comes off the bag. Goes to the bag to retire the side. Hard hit ball grabbed by Ed Kranepool at first base. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on in the score at the end of 2.5 innings. St. Louis Cardinals nothing. The New York Mets nothing.
You could hunt all season, fellows, and never bag values like those awaiting you at Walton's Sport Shop on Lake Avenue. When it's hunting supplies you're seeking, draw a bead on the most complete selection in town. Walton's is synonymous with the very finest in hunting equipment. Guns in all calibers and gauges. Ammunition and reloading supplies are all available. Then, to make those long hours in the field more comfortable, you'll find the best in hunting vests and pants at Walton's. Quality products at reasonable prices. If you need a scope mounted on your rifle, this service is also available at Walton's. Walton's Sport Shop can supply all your hunting needs. Make it an enjoyable and successful season with hunting supplies of quality, always priced reasonably at Walton Sport Shop on Lake Avenue in Saratoga Springs.
Into the bottom of the third inning. Bud Harrelson, the batter, and the first pitch by Bob Gibson is taken low, ball one. Harrelson was out to bunt and then took the pitch as it was out of the strike zone. Bud hitting .242 with no home runs and 21 runs batted in. No score. Cardinals have 3 hits. The Mets have 1. Harrelson batting left-handed, and the pitch back is grounded foul over toward the on-deck circle and fielded by Jim McAndrew. Bob Gibson working on the mound. 22-5 lifetime against the Mets. Now a curve inside. Ball just missing. And Gibson back, and the next delivery is taken high. So the count now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Gibson has struck out no one in this ball game, but he has 250 strikeouts for the year in 284 innings. Now the 3-2 pitch fouled into the stands, so the count remains at 3-2. Gibson has a 2.32 earned run average. He has had 25 complete games. 3 have been shutouts. This is his 33rd game start. Now again at 3-2, and the pitch is again fouled into the stands on the third base side. So Harrelson staying alive, and the count remaining 3 balls and 2 strikes. Gibson has won 165 ball games in his lifetime in the majors, lost only 109. And again the 3-2 pitch is high, ball 4, and Harrelson walks. That'll bring up Jim McAndrew. And the first pitch to McAndrew, a strike. As McAndrew was around in bunting position, strike 1. And the pitch back, and McAndrew bunts the ball, but it's bunted foul. So the count now at strike 2. McAndrew has been up 35 times with 5 hits. He has driven in 3 runs. Scoreless ball game, no one out, bottom half of the third. The Mets have Bud Harrelson as a base runner at first. Strike 3. So in this inning, Gibson has walked his first man in the ball game and struck out his first man in the ball game. And with 1 away, it'll bring up Tommy Agee. Tommy flied out to center field his first time up. His average at .271. He leads the club in home runs with 26 home runs. He has 74 RBIs. And a throw to first base chases Harrelson back. No score. 1 man out, bottom half of the third. And Gibson with the first pitch to Agee. It swung on and fouled back over the top of the screen out of play. Strike 1. Montreal beat the Cubs today 7-3. So the Mets' magic number is 2. The end of 2. Philadelphia 1. Pittsburgh nothing. Now the next pitch grounded slowly out toward third. Shannon has only 1 play, and that's the first base, and he goes there in time for the out. Moving down to second in scoring position, Bud Harrelson. And the batter coming up is Wayne Garrett. Garrett was out in a spectacular catch by Veda Pinson in right field his first time up. Pinson taking an extra base hit away as he went deep to right, jumped high in the air to glove 1. Garrett batting .216, and the first pitch is hit foul into the stands, strike 1. The Cardinals in Pittsburgh are fighting for third place. They started the action tonight, tied with a record of 82 and 72. One strike delivery, grounded in the hole. Going over the second baseman, Javier. He cannot get to it, and Harrelson comes in to score. Wayne Garrett driving in his 39th run, and the Mets take the lead 1-0. Ground ball right between Joe Torre, who tried for it, the first baseman, and Julian Javier, the second baseman. Now it brings it Art Shamsky, who flied out to deep left his first time up. Art hitting .305. And the first pitch is popped up out to shallow center field. Shortstop Dow Maxwell backpedaling back into shallow center to make the catch. And it retires the side. But in the inning, the Mets score the first run of the ball game on one base hit. There was a walk, no errors, and one man was left on. And the score at the end of 3, the New York Mets 1, the St. Louis Cardinals 0.
Having a problem in deciding where to take your group in its next outing? If so, let the Mets Group Sales Department solve it for you. This department is manned by experts in handling both men's and women's groups. These same specialists encourage community and civic organizations, social and fraternal clubs, youth, family, and athletic groups to take in a Mets ball game and enjoy a day at Shea. In addition to providing group ticket sales for a ball game, our representatives will be happy to furnish you with all the details of the beautiful restaurants at Shea Stadium, which are available for parties large or small up to 700 persons. For groups of 100 or more, recognition will be given to your organization on the changeable message scoreboard here at Shea. Residents of Connecticut, New Jersey, and New York can easily obtain additional information simply by writing to Group Sales Manager, Shea Stadium, Flushing, New York, 11368. Or if you like, telephone 212-672-3000. The representative handling your area will be more than happy to personally speak before your men's or women's group, large or small, and explain all the details. Call or write today.
We're going to the top of the 4th inning. The Mets leading 1-0 against the Cardinals and Bob Gibson. On the mound for the Mets, Jim McAndrew. And his first batter will be the first baseman, Joe Torre. Joe Torre flied out to center field his first time up. Joe batting .285. He has 17 home runs and 93 runs batted in. And the first pitch, a curve in the dirt. It's ball 1. One ball, no strikes. McAndrew back. And the next pitch is fouled off of the foot of Jerry Grote. And for the second night in a row, Grote has flattened his back. Grote was flat on his back in last night's ball game, but stayed in it. This one, I think, off his knee or foot. He's being checked out by Gus Mosh, and now Gil Hodges comes out to look. They're taking the shin guard off. And it apparently hit him on the knee. Looking at the scoreboard, Cincinnati beat the Dodgers 6-3 in the first game of their doubleheader. In the second game, no score after 1. In the first game, Cincinnati won it as Jim Merritt won his 17th. He has lost 8. The losing pitcher is Claude Osteen. He's 19-15. Lefevre and John Miller had home runs in the ball game. In the second game, it's Alan Foster pitching for the Dodgers and Jerry Arrigo going for Cincinnati. Cincinnati trying to stay in the pennant race, now 3.5 games back of the Giants, who play later on tonight. Atlanta's in second place. They're a half a game back, and the starting pitchers for the Atlanta-Houston game, George Stone for the Braves, 12-9, and going for Houston, Jim Ray, who has won 7 and lost 2. Dodgers dropping to 5 games off the pace with their loss in that first ball game. Grote still being administered to, but he appears to be okay, and he is going to stay in the ballgame. He has now just stood up to flex the knee, and he's doing a deep knee bend to find out whether or not it'll work. Atlanta did not score on the top of the first. Now Houston coming up. And if you just joined us and hadn't heard the baseball news, Montreal beat Chicago. Bill Stoneman, the winning pitcher, his record 11-8. He pitched a six-hitter, went all the way, gave up 3 runs. The losing pitcher was Ken Holtzman. Rusty Staub got his 29th home run, Ron Fairley his 12th, and Billy Williams got his 19th for the Cubs. So the magic number for the Mets is 2. Now play will be started up again as Grody is okay. The count 1 ball, 1 strike. The batter Joe Torre. No one out, top of the 4th. The Mets leading 1-0. And McAndrews 1-1 pitch. Fastball outside, ball 2. Torre flied out to center field his first time up on a fastball. And the 2-1 delivery. Curveball swung on a miss. 2-2. Well, Joe Torre's brother, Frank Torre, finally got to present that foreign sports car to Mr. Willie Mays on his 600th home run. He had been trailing Willie for quite some time. Got a real tour out of it. Now a slider outside at 3-2.
That should be a pretty snazzy sports car, Ralph. $12,500 car.
Those are good numbers.
Great numbers.
3 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch to Torre. Line down the left field line. It'll be a base hit. Should go for 2. The ball played off the wall by Art Shamsky, and Torre goes in easily with a stand-up double. So Joe gets his first hit of the series, a line shot down the left field line. That puts the time run at second base with no one out here in the top of the 4th and brings up Tim McCarver. Tim grounded out to second base on a changeup his first time up. Now you can get a larger loan in New York, up to $1,400 from the largest lending company, HFC, Household Finance. And the first pitch to McCarver is popped foul, back out of play, strike 1. Tim is batting .263 this year with 7 home runs and 51 runs batted in. McCarver working with a time run at second, no one out here in the top of the 4th. And the right-hander sets and comes back to McCarver, and the pitch is pulled foul. And it's strike 2. Line shot pulled over in back of the first base coach against the stand. In fact, Ron Svoboda now fielding the ball out in right field. Two-strike count on Tim McCarver. Andrew nods yes at the set of signs and goes to the set position. And the pitch is swung on and missed. Jim McAndrew with a second strikeout. That's his first out here in the 4th. It brings up Mike Shannon. McCarver has only struck out 25 times this year and 490 times up. Mike Shannon, the batter. Mike was struck out his first time up. Got caught looking at a 2-2 fastball over the outside corner about knee high. Mike, a right-hand batter, and the first pitch is a curve over the inside corner. Strike 1. Shannon batting .250. He has 12 home runs and 55 runs batted in. Mets leading 1-0 the Cardinals with a runner at second. Joe Torre there. Got there on a leadoff double. Now at 1 strike, McAndrew back to Shannon, and the pitch is popped up. A little pop up on the shortstop side. Bud Harrelson with his hand up and making the catch on the dirt part of the infield. 2 men away, and it brings up the second baseman, Julian Javier. Julian fouled out to third his first time up. His average at .283 for the year with 10 home runs and 42 runs batted in. No breeze at all here at Shea. It's a beautiful night for baseball. One more left in the regular season. Tomorrow night. And the first pitch to Javier is swung on and fouled back, strike one. Tomorrow night's game, Gary Gentry will be pitching for the Mets against Steve Carlton. Don't forget that game time tomorrow night will be at 7:05. We'll be on the air at 7. Everyone who attends the ball game at Shea will receive a special gift from the Mets. Jim McAndrew working with a one-strike count to Julian Javier. 2 men out, top of the fourth inning. The Mets leading 1-0, and the Cardinals with a runner at second. And the pitch. Hit hard down to third, and a great play by Wayne Garrett. He comes up with a line shot of a ball to his glove side on the half hop. Takes a base hit away, saves a possible run. His throw to first base was perfect. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left. And the score in the middle of the fourth. The New York Mets won, the St. Louis Cardinals nothing.
The finest in Italian cuisine and a wide array of steaks, chops, and seafood await your dining pleasure at Mangino's Restaurant, located in the south end of Saratoga Lake. But there's a big difference between just ordinary Italian or American cuisine and Mangino's fine foods. At Mangino's, your order is never prepared hours before. Mangino's realize that good food cannot be hurried, and they ask you to give them a little time to prepare it properly. All dishes are prepared to your order when your order is placed, never simmering away for hours or minutes in the kitchen. And that's the big difference at Mangino's. Why not enjoy eating Italian food the way it should be savored and dine at Mangino's Restaurant, located in the south end of Saratoga Lake at Route 9P, just 2 miles from Route 9. A complete line of Italian specialties are served to tempt the palate, and their steaks and chops and seafood are equally as delightful. If you're planning a banquet or party for up to 75 people, call Mangino's for their special party menu. They'll be happy to give you complete details. That's Mangino's Restaurant, the home of truly fine foods, Route 9P, the south end of Saratoga Lake.
The first pitch to Boswell is called a strike. Again lined out to center field on his first pitch, his first time up. He was 1 for 3 last night to extend his fine hitting. He has hit safely in 10 of his last 11 ball games. Now a curve, but too low. 1-1. Boswell hitting .283 with 3 home runs and 30 runs batted in. And a curveball chopped down to Torrey at first base. He makes the play as he backs up just a stride. Throws to Gibson covering for the out. 1 away, and it brings up Kranepool. Ed popped up to the pitcher its first time up. Ed batting .235. He has 11 home runs and 49 runs batted in. Mets leading 1-0. 1 man out, bottom half of the fourth. And the first pitch is chopped out by the first baseman in the right field for a base hit. Kranepool makes the turn and holds there as the ball is back to the infield, thrown by Veda Pinson. So the Mets have their third hit. Ed is first, and it brings up Ron Swoboda, who got the Mets' first hit back in the second. Batting .240 with 9 home runs and 52 runs batted in. He hit a curveball sharply by the shortstop Maxwell his first time up. And first pitch to him this time is a fastball, but outside. Phillies got a run in the top of the fourth. They lead 2-0 after 3.5 over the Pirates. Next delivery outside for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Mel Stoudemire trying for his 20th win, now behind 5-0 after 4. And the next pitch is popped up on the first base side. Torrey by first base makes the catch and almost loses it. Wouldn't have made any difference. He could have picked the ball up if he had dropped it and thrown the runner out at second, because Kranepool had to stay right in the bag. Vincent Romo pitching for the Boston Red Sox with a 5-0 lead after 4. Yastrzemski hit his 38th home run in the third with no one on. Now the batter coming up is Jerry Grody, and the first pitch is inside a ball. At the end of 3.5, Cleveland 3, Baltimore 1. Frank Robinson got his 32nd home run in the fourth with no one on. McDowell pitching against Bertena. Next pitch is grounded foul, and the count 1-1. Washington at Detroit, Casey Cox against Mickey Lolitz. Minnesota 2, Kansas City now batting in the first. Boswell against Hedlund. 2 at Oakland, Chicago there. First game pitchers are Bart Johnson against Catfish Hunter. Now a strike called, and the count 1-2 on Grody. Also on the American League schedule, Seattle at California. One ball, 2 strikes. And Gibson's pitch. Slider just outside, 2-2. Mets are leading 1-0. 2 men away, bottom half of the fourth. Kranepool at first base, and the pitch back to Grody. Grounded slowly out to third. Shannon hangs back, now charges, fires to first, and gets Grody by a step. That retires his side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. The man left at first, and the score at the end of 4, New York Mets 1, the St. Louis Cardinals 0.
Very interesting, but the pay is lousy.
This is Artie Johnson for Vista. I meant what I said. The pay is lousy. Vista volunteers only get $50 a month for the year they sign up, but they get an awful lot in satisfaction. The satisfaction of knowing that they've made life a little bit better for somebody who's had it pretty bad most of the time. Vista volunteers in service to America, spend a year where the real poverty is, in the big city slums, in migrant worker camps. They teach. They help get cooperation from red tape-ridden agencies. They do whatever they can to make life a little bit better. It's one of the few programs in the land of plenty that's designed to help the plenty who have nothing. It's not a job. It's a dedication. If you think you might have the guts to try, write Vista, V-I-S-T-A, Box A, Washington, D.C. Now that's what I call very interesting.
For the St. Louis Cardinals, as the game moves now to the 5th inning, Dal Maxville will be leading off. Maxville singled to right field in the 3rd inning, and Bob Gibson followed him to single to center field, putting Jim McAndrew squarely on the spot, and the rangy right-hander promptly worked his way out of trouble. Dal Maxville, a right-hand hitter. He's a rather skillful bunter, so Garrett plays in close at third. And a curveball misses outside, 1-0. Lots of banners being paraded and displayed here at Shea Stadium tonight. The 1-0 delivery by Mack. Hit high in the air, a fly ball to right center. Ranging back, and now waiting under it, Tommy Agee. He makes the catch. We pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is New York Mets Baseball on WKAJ-FM 102.3, Saratoga Springs, New York.
Bob Murphy with Lindsey Nelson and Ralph Kinder were at the top of the 5th inning, New York leading 1-0. Now McAndrew winds, Gibson is the batter, and he fouls it back toward the Cardinal dugout. The magic number is 2. If the Mets can win tonight, the number will be 1. Meaning that either a Cub loss tomorrow afternoon or a Met victory tomorrow night would clinch the championship for the New York Mets. Now McAndrew delivers to Gibson a hard slider on the outside corner, strike 2 call. Tommy Agee playing a couple of steps to right center against Gibson, who's a good hitter. And a swing and a miss. He goes down swinging at a breaking ball. For Jim McAndrew, his third strikeout. Now 2 outs and nobody on. The top of the batting order for Lou Brock. You know, of all the drinks in the world, beer is the only one meant to have a head. And Rheingold is the beer that keeps its head. The Rheingold 10-minute head. Haven't you timed it yet? Lou Brock, left-hand batter waiting, and a pitch on the outside corner, a call strike. Brock hitting at .298. Now Mack just misses the inside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Third time at bat for Brock. He has bounced out to second and lined out hard to the third baseman. Wayne Garrett has handled a couple of hot ones around third so far in this game. Ground ball hit up toward the middle. Racing forward is Boswell. He hurries to throw. Not in time. Brock beats it for a base hit. A great speed of Lou Brock. When he bounces one toward the middle of the diamond like that, it's almost impossible to get him. A base hit for Lou Brock. Now center fielder Kurt Flood. He has grounded out third to first and reached on a force play, nothing for 2. Flood hitting .287 with 56 runs batted in. Mets lead the Cardinals in the season series 10 games to 6. Now Jim McAndrew up in pitching position. Delivers. Ground ball hit toward the hole. That goes through. A base hit to left field. Brock around second is holding there. And now on back-to-back singles. The Cardinals have 2 men on. There are 2 away, and Veda Penson is coming up to hit. Cardinals threatening once again, and Jerry Grody goes out to the mound to talk with Jim McAndrew. Veda Penson whacked a long double up the alley in left center in the first inning. And then he grounded out to Ed Kranepool his second time up. Veda Penson hitting at .257, but he has 70 runs batted in. Veda, a pull hitter, and both the infield and the outfield swing around toward right for him. And a half swing he held up in time. It's low inside, ball 1. Crowd not agreeing with umpire Andy Olson. They thought he swung at the ball. Speed on the baselines for the Cardinals right now with Lou Brock on second and Kurt Flood on first. McAndrew up in pitching position. And the pitch on the way. Ground ball bounced to the right side. Kranepool going for it. It breaks off the glove of Boswell. Goes into right field. Brock is scoring. Flood is racing to third and now holding up there. The game is tied up. Boswell got to the ground ball over in the hole, but it broke off of his glove and went into the outfield. It'll be an error on Boswell. Kranepool had gone for the ball. I don't know whether Boswell lost sight of it as Kranepool cut in front of him or not. At any rate, it broke off of his glove and went into right field. McAndrew was racing to cover at first base. So, on the error, the game is tied up 1-1. And the batter now is Joe Torre. Runners on first and third. Torre, the cleanup batter, facing McAndrew. Swing and a miss at a curve, strike 1. Kranepool, who had gone for the ball, appeared to be crossing right in front of Boswell at the moment the ball reached Boswell's glove. It might have been he was blocked off and couldn't see it. Now the pitch to Torre is in the dirt, but snagged by Jerry Grody. 1 ball and 1 strike. Game tied 1-1, top half of the 5th inning. Flood, the runner, at third. Penson is on first. Torrey doubled his last time at bat. And a smash off the shins of Jim McAndrew. It will score a run. Flood is in to score. A base hit for Joe Torrey. A wicked ground ball off the shins of Jim McAndrew. And trainer Gus Marsh comes up to the top of the dugout to see if Mac wants some help. If it doesn't hurt right now, you can bet it's going to hurt in a little while. Now McAndrew is walking around the edge of the mound. He got hit on the right leg, just under the knee. A base hit for Joe Torrey. The Cardinals lead 2-1. They now have scored twice after two are out and nobody on. Gil Hodges and trainer Gus Marsh on the mound, working now with Jim McAndrew, who was hit on the right leg, just under the knee. Ball hit very hard by Joe Torrey. St. Louis now has 2 runs on 7 hits. New York 1 run on 3 hits. Gil Hodges wants McAndrew to throw 2 or 3 pitches. He wants to see how he'll be able to operate after being hit on that leg. Well, he throws 1 pitch, and Gil is convinced that he's all right. So Gil and Gus Marsh head back for the dugout. Tim McCarver hitting for the Cardinals. Runners on first and second. They have 2 runs in. The runs will be cataloged as unearned runs. The infield shades to right. The outfield straight away against McCarver. And a high fly to deep center. Back goes Agee. Now he turns and he's under it. Makes the catch. The side is up. 2 runs. There were 3 hits, 1 error, and 2 left on. At the end of 4 1/2 innings, the St. Louis Cardinals 2 and the New York Mets 1. Now here's a word from Rheingold.
In the early morning chill, a man meets a train in the New York freight yard. He's there to make sure a great lager beer stays great. This man is from Rheingold, and he's checking on a malt shipment. Barley malt from America's Great Plains. At the brewery, samples of this malt will be carefully examined by beer experts who make certain it meets Rheingold's high standards. Quality standards that have made Rheingold Extra Dry a truly great beer. You can see that greatness in the proud Rheingold 10-minute head. That's the unmistakable sign of a great beer.
My beer is Rheingold, a dry beer. Ask for Rheingold whenever you buy beer. Rheingold's head stays so high. Rheingold's brewed extra dry. Won't you try extra dry Rheingold beer?
The Rheingold 10-minute head. Haven't you timed it yet? Rheingold Breweries, New York and Orange, New Jersey.
Bud Harrelson leading off against Gibson. Last half of the 5th inning. Cardinals 2, Mets 1. Bud reached on a walk his first time up. He bunts it, but it's right in front of the plate, taken by McCarver. And a quick throw to first base, 1 down. Bud failed to get that bunt away from the plate, and McCarver had it quickly. Now Jim McAndrew is the scheduled hitter. And Mac is coming up. Center Gus Marsh came out and applied the ethyl chloride, that instant freeze, to the spot on McAndrew's right leg where the baseball hit him. Mack is 0 for 1. He was struck out his first time up. Swing and a miss, strike one. Final home game of the regular season tomorrow night. Game time 7:05. Swing and a miss, strike two. Gary Gentry tomorrow night against Steve Carlton. Two-strike delivery. Curve is over. Strike three called. He gets McAndrew on 3 pitches. Two outs and nobody on. Tommy Agee coming up. Now Gibson winding and the pitch to Agee. Fastball in, calls strike one. Bob Gibson has struck out 252 hitters. Steve Carlton is also over 200. He has 209. Low and outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Tom Seaver leads the Mets staff in strikeouts. Tom has 204. Swing and a miss by Tommy Agee. It's 1-2. Tommy is 0 for 2. And he hits a long fly ball that may go foul down the right field line. And it is a foul ball into the crowd. Now the 1-2 pitch by Gibby, a ground ball whacked to second. Big hop for Julian Javier. And he throws to Joe Torre. That retires the Mets in the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left on. At the end of 5 innings, the St. Louis Cardinals 2 and the New York Mets 1.
Many people, when they reach 65, would like to slow down a little, but not necessarily to retire completely. Well, you do not have to retire completely to get Social Security benefits. You can earn as much as $1,680 in a year and still get a Social Security check every month. You can earn a good deal more than $1,680 in a year and still get part of the benefits, depending on how much more you earn. And here's an important point. No matter how much money you earn during the year, you can get a benefit check for any month in which you earn no more than $140. You've just heard a lot of figures. $1,680 in a year, $140 in a month, age 65. Don't be confused. If you have any questions at all about retirement, earnings, and Social Security benefits, get in touch with your Social Security office. The people there will be glad to answer your questions and help you apply for benefits.
They're in the last of inning number 3 in Cincinnati. No score. Dodgers nothing, Reds nothing. The Reds won the opener of the doubleheader 6-3. Atlanta and Houston scoreless in the top half of the 3rd at the Astrodome. Phillies 4, Pirates nothing, bottom half of the 5th in Pittsburgh. The 2 big stories in baseball today, the Montreal Expos beat the Cubs 7-3 at Wrigley Field. And Boston Red Sox manager Dick Williams was fired. Now the windup, here's the pitch on the way. Lined in the air by Shannon to left field. Shamsky grabs it. Hard hit line drive that stayed up just long enough for Art Shamsky to come in and grab. One away in the 6th inning. It brings up Javier. Julian Javier has fouled out to 3rd and grounded out to 3rd. Nothing for 2.
Second baseman.
Javier hitting at 283. Dick Williams, fired by the Red Sox, is the 2nd American League manager to be fired in the closing stages of the season. Hank Bauer was the 1st. Man does not have a great deal of security when he takes the job of managing for Charles Finley. Line drive hit down the left field line by Javier. It's right down the line, a fair ball in the corner. An extra base hit, and Javier goes into second with a double. That ball was fair just by inches, deep down the left field line. For Javier, his 28th two-base hit. Dal Maxville coming up. Maxville has singled to right and fly to center. Now the sign goes out to the bullpen, and Tug McGraw will start warming up. And the pitch on the way. Fouled, going out of play, off to the right. St. Louis, 2 runs on 8 hits. New York, 1 run on 3 hits. Tonight's baseball quiz asks the question, can you name the only player in Detroit baseball history to win the Triple Crown? And the answer will be on the message board in the last half of the inning. Now McAndrew eyes the runner at second, and the pitch is grounded down to George Kissel, coaching at third. Bob Gibson waiting on deck. McAndrew with a 2-strike advantage kicks the leg. Around comes the arm. Ground ball bounced slowly. Harrelson moves in to grab it. Now guns it in time. Maxwell erased by a stride, 2 men away. With 2 outs and 1 on, Bob Gibson will bat for the 3rd time. Gibson has 1 for 2, a single to center. Bob Gibson has had 27 base hits. That is a lot of hits for a pitcher. He has a batting average of .252. Now the pitch by McAndrew. Grounder hit hard. Foul. Just foul down the third base line. Bob Gibson is a tireless worker. He has already worked 282 innings, not counting his work here tonight. Tom Seaver leads the Mets staff at innings pitched. Tom has hurled 264 innings. Now McAndrew works from the stretch. Low and outside, 1 ball, 1 strike to Bob Gibson. Cardinals 2 and the Mets 1. We're at the top of the 6th inning. The 1-1 delivery. Curve popped in the air down the right field line. Ron Swoboda coming over to the line. Crosses the line, makes the catch in foul territory. That retires the side. No runs, 1 hit. No errors, and 1 left on. At the end of 5 1/2 innings, the St. Louis Cardinals 2, the New York Mets 1.
Hi, this is Greg Morris of Mission Impossible with an important question for young men. Do you know where you're going? Have you considered the Coast Guard? The United States Coast Guard builds well-rounded men, experts in a variety of fields, men with eyes on the future. At the United States Coast Guard Academy, you'll receive the finest education and military training, a Bachelor of Science degree, and a commission in the United States Coast Guard. If you have the ability to take command, the Coast Guard is interested in you. At the Academy, you can concentrate on engineering, management, or oceanography. Your training and education will encompass every facet of the Coast Guard's humanitarian mission. If you have what it takes, take a career in the Coast Guard. For brochure and application form, write to the Director of Admissions, Coast Guard Academy, New London, Connecticut. That's the Director of Admissions, Coast Guard Academy, New London, Connecticut.
Wayne Garrett leading off against Bob Gibson, and the pitch is inside and low, ball 1. Garrett singled to right field, bringing home the Mets' only run of the ball game. His last time up in the 3rd. Now a ground ball hit right at Julian Javier, the second baseman. To Joe Torre, 1 down. The answer to the baseball quiz, the only Detroit Tiger player in Detroit baseball history to win the Triple Crown, Hall of Famer Ty Cobb, the Georgia Peach. Now the pitch on the way to Shamsky, and the curve is in, called strike one. The Atlanta Braves got 2 runs in the top of the 3rd inning in Houston. Braves 2, Astros nothing after 2.5. Bob Gibson trying to win his 19th ball game, bidding for his 4th 20-game season. Cardinals with the outfield deep and around to right against Art Shamsky. Now Gibson over the head. And a fly ball hit to left field. Lou Brock galloping toward the line is getting there, and he has it for the out. So 2 outs and nobody on. Ken Boswell, the hitter. Boswell is lined out to center and bounced out to first. Nothing for 2. In his last 23 ball games, Boswell has 35 hits and 80 times at bat. He's hitting about .445 over the last 23 games. Breaking ball on the inside corner, called strike one. Gibson has a great fastball, probably the best slider in the business or close to it, and a good curveball. Ground ball on the right side of the infield. Javier ranging to his glove side, now throws to Torrey, and the Mets are out 1-2-3 in the 6th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left on. At the end of 6, the St. Louis Cardinals 2 and the New York Mets 1.
This is Lindsey Nelson with Ralph Kiner and Bob Murphy at Shea Stadium, and Lou Brock is up now, leading off for the Cardinals here in the top half of the 7th inning. Facing right-handed Jim McAndrew into the motion. Here's the pitch line, 1 hop to short and on by into the outfield for a base hit. Lou Brock with a leadoff single. The ball is corralled by Tommy Agee in center, and Brock is on. A hard smash to short for a base hit. Now down in the bullpen of the Mets, Tug McGraw gets up to throw. Lou Brock is a dangerous man to have on there as a leadoff man. Kurt Flood's up. He's 1 for 3. Right-hand batter. Cranepool holds against the runner, Lou Brock. Here's the pitch, and it's high and away for a ball. Brock has stolen 52 bases this year. He's been caught stealing 14 times. Brock takes his lead. Throw to first is not in time. Count is ball 1 to Kurt Flood at the plate with Veda Pinson on deck. There's a swing and a 1 hop at his short, taken by Harrelson. Over to Boswell for 1, throw to first, a double play. It goes 6-4-3 from Harrelson to Boswell to Cranepool. Ball is hit hard to short so that they were able to bring it around for 2. With nobody on now, it's Veda Pinson coming up, doubled. Grounded out to first base and was on an error by Boswell, play on which a run scored in the 5th inning. Pinson, the left-hand batter, batting number 3 in the Cardinal batting order. Swung on it in the air to deep center field. Agee drifting back to the edge of the warning track, makes the catch. Crowd is out. No runs, a hit, no errors, and nobody left. In the middle of the 7th inning, the score is Cardinals 2 and the Mets 1. Say, fans, would you like to do something for the kids of New York? Then order your tickets now for the annual Mayor's Trophy game between the Yankees and the Mets, to be played here at Shea Stadium on Monday night, September 29th, for the benefit of the Greater New York Sandlot program. You may recall that this year's Mayor's Trophy game originally was scheduled to be played on July 7th, but an all-day rain necessitated a postponement. The game on September 29th will mark the 7th of the series in what has developed into a keen rivalry between the clubs, and the Mets will be shooting for their 3rd straight trophy victory. So plan to be on hand for all the excitement. The date again is Monday night, September 29th, when the Mets meet the Yankees. Box seats sell for the regular price of $3.50, while reserve seats cost $2.50. Advance orders will be filled at any Yankee or Met ticket outlet anywhere around the town. The New York Mets are trailing by a run as they come up here in the bottom of the seventh, and Ed Cranepool will lead off. The Met fans have been up and stretching midway of the seventh, so they're ready to lend a little support here. Cranepool has popped out to the pitcher and had a base hit. There's a swing and another base hit into right field. Ada Pinkston comes up, plays it back, and Cranepool has a leadoff single. Here in the bottom of the seventh. He's on at first with nobody out. It is his second base hit of the ball game. Here comes Ron Swoboda. Swoboda is 1 for 2. He signals sharply to left in the second inning. Listen to the Met fans. Here's a pitch that's low for a ball. 1-0 to Swoboda with Grote on deck, and Gibson comes down to argue the call with umpire Andy Olson. Gibson thought it was in the strike zone. The Cardinals are leading by a score of 2-1. Joe Torre holds against the runner at first. The pitch swung on it on the ground to short. Could be a double play. Maxwell bobbles the ball. Placed to first in time to get Swoboda. Cranepool is at second. Maxwell bobbled what might have been a double play ball, and Swoboda was late getting away from the plate. He did not run it out. Then when he made his move, it was too late. So he is out at first on a play from Maxwell to Torre. The tying run is at second with one man out, and Jerry Grote is up. Grounded out short to first, grounded out third to first. It was a hard smash to shortstop Dow Maxwell. Looked as though it might be a double play ball, but Maxwell bobbled it, then recovered and was able to get Swoboda at first. This pitch is in for a strike to Grote. Cardinals are leading 2-1. Grote asked that umpire Andy Olson look at the ball. He does and takes it out of play. Cardinals 2 runs, 9 hits. The Mets 1 run, 4 hits. Cranepool takes his lead now at second base. Bob Gibson up and set, steps off the rubber. Sal Campisi's up and throwing in the bullpen now for the St. Louis Cardinals. Doug McGraw is throwing in the bullpen for the New York Mets. Swung on, helmet on the ground to third, taken by Shannon, looks the runner, placed to first in time, no advance. Cranepool holds at second, and coming up now is Harrelson, and manager Red Schoendienst goes out to the mound for a word with Gibson. Could be that he wants to talk to Gibson about the possibility of putting Harrelson on with first base open and seeing if he can force Gil Hodges to make a move. The meeting has hurriedly concluded, and Schoendienst goes back to the dugout. Catcher Tim McCarver's out there now for a word with Gibson. McAndrews on deck. Harrelson is the batter. Cardinals are leading by a score of 2-1. Harrelson walked, tried to bunt his way on in the fifth inning and was out. Catcher to first base. Switch hitter batting left. Here's the pitch. Curveball high and away. 1-0. Again, Gibson sets up. The pitch is high. He goes behind. 2-0 to Bud Harrelson. Pitching him carefully here in the bottom half of the seventh inning with the tying run at second base. There's a 2-0 delivery. Low. Gibson goes behind. 3-0 to Bud Harrelson. He looks down to Eddie Yost to see if he's taking. Doug McGraw throwing in the Met bullpen. 3-0 pitch. High, walked him. So now, does Gil Hodges make a move? He does. McAndrew goes back to the dugout, and we'll see who are we going to get here now batting for McAndrew. The fans are all up on their feet here now, saying we want Jones. They want Cleon Jones, who is a right-hand batter, but they're going to get instead a left-hand batter, Jim Gosker. Jim Gosker, a left-hand batter, will bat for McAndrew. Gosker is 1 for 10 since coming up to the Mets from Tidewater, Virginia. At Tidewater this year, Gosker hit .341. He had 10 home runs and 31 runs batted in. So it is Gosker batting for McAndrew as the Mets try to get the tying run in. They have the tying run at second, represented by Ed Granville, and the go-ahead run at first, represented by Bud Harrelson. Cardinals now having a conference. Catcher Tim McCarver, third baseman Mike Shannon over how to work to Jim Gosker. Jim Gosker, a left-hand batter that they have not seen. Tug McGraw in the Met bullpen. Now Gosker is in and waiting. Runners lead at first and second. The pitch, foul back and out of play at strike one. As Gil Hodges figuring, doubtless, that a team doesn't get too many scoring opportunities on a pitcher of the caliber of Bob Gibson. So he wants to take the opportunity while he has it here in the bottom of the seventh. The Cardinals are leading 2-1. Pitch to Gosker. Inside, low, it's 1-1. Tommy Agee is on deck. There are 2 men out. Bob Gibson with a pitch. Inside low. He goes behind out of Gosker, 2-1. Mets magic number is 2. Runners lead at first and second. This will be a 2-1 pitch. Swung on, hit in the air to center field, and Kurt Flood comes up. He's there, and Flood makes the catch. So the side is out. No runs, a hit, a walk, no errors, and 2 left. The end of 7 full innings of play. The score is Cardinals 2, the Mets 1.
A lot of people these days are asking what this country's coming to, what it's all about. Well, it's about a lot of things that we take for granted, like arguing with each other. Some places in the world you can't argue out loud about politics, for example. In some places, that's a privilege they're fighting for right now. We take a lot of other things for granted, too. Free enterprise, the new opportunities the people demand and get because they demand it. That's what America is all about. And that's why I'm a pilot in the Air Force Reserve. That's why 1 weekend a month I fly, so we can stay on top, so nothing will take us by surprise. Just so we can keep on taking this country of ours for granted. If you have Air Force flying experience, contact the nearest Air Force Reserve unit or the Reserve Affairs officer at the nearest Air Force base for further information and details.
Tug McGraw comes in to do the pitching for the Mets, now making his 41st appearance of the year. He has a record of 8 wins and 3 losses. Last time out, on September 20th, he worked against the Pittsburgh Pirates for 3 innings in which he gave up 1 run on 2 hits. Jim McAndrew worked 7 innings, gave up 2 runs on 9 hits, struck out 3 and walked none. McAndrew goes out, pitcher of record on the short side of the 2-1 score. Joe Torre is up to lead off now for the Cardinals in the top half of the 8th inning, facing Tug McGraw. Swing and a miss at strike 1. Tim McCarver on deck. Now the pitch is high for a ball. It's 1-1. Jerry Gentry tomorrow night for the Mets. Steve Carlton tomorrow night for the St. Louis Cardinals. 1-1 delivery to Torres, swung on and missed. It's strike two. 1-2. McGraw takes the sign from Jerry Grody. Offers up 1-2. Struck him out. One away. If you want real cola refreshment, get with RC, the one with the mad, mad taste. Get with the Comer. Tim McCarver has grounded out second to first, struck out swinging, and flied out to center field. McGraw delivers a pitch high for ball one. Mike Shannon's on deck. Carver, a left-hand batter. McGraw takes the sign. And McCarver steps out. One-0 pitch. Swung on and popped up to the left side. Harrelson goes out into short left field and calls. He's there waiting, and he makes the catch. 2 out. Cardinals batting in the eighth, and Mike Shannon's coming up. Called out on strikes, popped to short, and lined to left. The paid attendance here at Shea Stadium tonight is 32,364. 32,364 paid. We have 10,480 midget Mets. Total crowd, 44,080. 44,080 at Shea tonight. Here's a pitch high for a ball to Mike Shannon. There's a 1-0 pitch. In there for a call strike to Shannon. It's 1-1. Here's a breaking pitch low. It's 2-1. The Mets' total attendance paid for the season now stands at 2,120,445. 2,120,445 paid at Shea Stadium this year. 2-1 pitch. Line into right field for a base hit for Mike Shannon. Ron Swoboda up with it, plays it back. Shannon turns and holds with a single to right. That is base hit number 10 for the St. Louis Cardinals. Brings up Julian Javier, who is 1 for 3, had a double in the 6th inning. Pete Rose has hit a home run for the Cincinnati Reds in the 4th inning with 1 man on, his 16th of the year. At the end of 4 innings of play, it is the Cincinnati Reds 3, the Dodgers nothing in the second game of a twilight doubleheader. Alan Foster against Jerry Arrigo. Cincinnati won the first game 6-3. There's a swing and a foul ball back and out of play. So the Cincinnati Reds appear headed for a sweep of the Dodgers. At the end of 7 innings of play, the Philadelphia Phillies lead the Pittsburgh Pirates by a score of 4-3. This afternoon, Montreal defeated the Chicago Cubs by a score of 7-3. At the end of 4 innings tonight in Houston, the Atlanta Braves 2 and the Houston Astros nothing. George Stone against Jim Ray, and the Giants and Padres play later in San Diego. Here's a pitch to Javier, breaks high. Nolan Ryan gets up to throw for the Mets now also. Nolan Ryan, along with Bob Johnson, throwing in the Met bullpen. 2-man out, runner at first. Cardinals leading 2-1. Batting in the top of the 8th. And the pitch lined into left field for a base hit. Shannon goes to second and turns. Shamsky up with the ball. Shannon holds. Javier's on at first with a single to left. Base hits back-to-back for the Cardinals here with 2 men out in the 8th. Dal Maxwell's coming up. He's 1 for 3. Single to right in the 3rd inning. Runners at first and second. Here's the pitch to Maxwell. High for a ball. Pitcher Bob Gibson's on deck now for the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals leading in the game 2-1. Shannon at second, Javier at first. 1-0 delivery. It's high. McGraw goes behind 2-0 now to Dal Maxwell, the number 8 man in the Cardinal batting order. Cardinals have 2 runs, 11 hits. The Mets have 1 run, 4 hits. Here's 2-0. Inside. McGraw is behind 3-0 to Dal Maxwell. A fellow with a 175 batting average. Delivery. In there for a call strike. It's 3-1. Maxwell looks to sign man George Kissel to see if he's taking again. Runners take their leads. 3-1 pitch. A little high. Walked him. The bases are loaded and Bob Gibson's coming up. That is the first walk issued by Met pitchers tonight. Gibson is 1 for 3. Rainbow comes over to the mound. Harrelson comes into the mound to talk to Tug McGraw as the Cardinals have loaded him up with 2 men out here in the top half of the 8th inning. Gibson is a right-hand batter. McGraw's into the motion. Here's the pitch. Low for a ball. 1-0 to Bob Gibson. McGraw works straight away. That pitch is in for a call strike. It's 1-1. Shannon at third, Javier at second, Maxwell at first. 1-1 pitch to Gibson. Line into right, and here comes Swoboda. He stabs it with a one-hand grab and skids along the grass. Holds on to the baseball for the out. A diving catch by Swoboda in right. Swoboda's getting a standing ovation here at Shea. He saved at least 2 runs and maybe more with that diving catch of a wicked line drive. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 3 left. In the middle of the 8th, the score is the Cardinals 2 and the Mets 1.
Having a problem in deciding where to take your group in its next outing? If so, let the Mets Group Sales Department solve it for you. This department is manned by experts in handling both men's and women's groups. These same specialists encourage community and civic organizations, social and fraternal clubs, youth, family, and athletic groups to take in a Mets ball game and enjoy a day at Shea. In addition to providing group ticket sales for a ball game, our representatives will be happy to furnish you with all the details of the beautiful restaurants at Shea Stadium, which are available for parties large or small up to 700 persons. For groups of 100 or more, recognition will be given to your organization on the changeable message scoreboard here at Shea. Residents of Connecticut, New Jersey, and New York can easily obtain additional information simply by writing to Group Sales Manager, Shea Stadium, Flushing, New York, 11368. Or if you like, telephone 212-672-3000. The representative handling your area will be more than happy to personally speak before your men's or women's group, large or small, and explain all the details. Call or write today.
Tommy Agee is up for the Mets, and here is Gibson's pitch outside for a ball. The Mets are batting in the bottom half of the eighth inning. They are trailing by a run. It's top of the batting order up. Agee is 0 for 3. Here's Gibson's pitch, swung on and missed. It's 1-1. Wayne Garrett is waiting on deck, and he's followed by Art Shamsky in the Met batting order. Bottom half of the eighth inning. The Cardinals leading by a score of 2-1. Here's Gibson's 1-1 offering. Low and away for a ball. It's 2-1. The Mets threatened in the bottom of the seventh when they managed to get 2 runners aboard on a base hit and a walk with 2 men out. Then went to a pinch hitter unsuccessfully. 2-1 delivery, swung on and fouled on the ground back of third. Taken by Eddie Yost off the coaching lines, and the count goes to 2-2. Yost tossing the ball back out to pitcher Bob Gibson. The Houston Astros have scored 2 runs in the bottom of the fifth. At the end of 5, it's Atlanta 2 and Houston 2. Here's a 2-2 delivery. Swung on and looped out into right field and might be in there. Pinson's coming on, can't get it. It's a base hit. A leadoff single for Agee into right field. Pinson was playing him very deeply. Pinson was playing a deep right field, and Agee looped the ball out there in front of him. The tying run is at first base, nobody out. Wayne Garrett's up. The Cardinals have to protect against the sacrifice possibility. They bring Shannon in on the grass at third. Here's the pitch. It's bunted up the first baseline. Gibson will play it. He makes the tag on the base path, but the sacrifice moves Agee to second base. A good bunt by Garrett. Gibson, who is a fine athlete, bounded down there off the mound toward the first baseline, came up with the ball and tagged Garrett on his way to first. But Shamsky now will have a shot at getting the tag run in from second. Shamsky's gone 0 for 3 here tonight. Shamsky's followed in the batting order by Boswell, so the Mets have 2 left-hand batters. The 3 and 4 men in the order to take a shot at getting Agee in from second base with the tying run here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. The crowd is alive. There's a swing and a drive to the right. It's a base hit. Here comes Agee. Made a pitch and throw goes to second. Agee scores. Shamsky with a solid single to right field to score Agee with the tying run. Now Amos Otis is coming in to run for Shamsky. Otis is running for Shamsky. Boswell is coming up. Boswell is up, and here is the pitch. It is in there for a called strike. Amos Otis at first base running for Art Shamsky. Shamsky ripped that ball out into right field on a line for a base hit that knocked in the tying run. So the score is tied here, 2-2. Here's a breaking pitch in for a called strike 2 now to Boswell. There's 1 man out. Cranepool is on deck. With the score tied, the go-ahead run is at first base. The Mets are batting in the bottom half of the 8th inning. 2-strike delivery, and it breaks inside low. 1-2. Gibson all night has pitched Boswell in close. He's been jamming him all night long. Boswell has gone hitless in 3 previous trips. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Swung on and looped out into deep short, and Maxfield goes back to make the catch. Retreating to first is Otis. We pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is New York Mets baseball on WKAJ-FM 102.3, Saratoga Springs, New York.
This is Lindsey Nelson with Bob Murphy and Ralph Kiner at Shea Stadium in New York. It's the Mets 2, the Cardinals 2, and Ed Cranepool is up now for the Mets. Cranepool's had 2 hits tonight. He's 2 for 3. Amos Otis running at first. Here's a pitch outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Joe Horner gets up to join Mudcat Grant now in the Cardinal bullpen. Joe Horner, a left-hander. Mudcat Grant, a right-hander. This is a 1-0 pitch to Craneville. And it's in for a strike, 1-1. Amos Otis at first base plus a start. The guess is that Otis will stay in the ballgame in left field in place of Shamsky, for whom he is running. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Try to first base, and Otis is back safely. Cardinals 2 runs, 11 hits. The Mets 2 runs, 6 hits. Gibson sets up. It's a swing and a fly ball to center. Big Flood is right there. He makes the catch. Flood is out, but the Mets got a run. On 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. At the end of 8 full innings of play, the score is tied. The Cardinals 2 and the Mets 2.
The finest in Italian cuisine and a wide array of steaks, chops, and seafood await your dining pleasure at Mangino's Restaurant, located in the south end of Saratoga Lake. But there's a big difference between just ordinary Italian or American cuisine and Mangino's fine foods. At Mangino's, your order is never prepared hours before. Mangino's realize that good food cannot be hurried, and they ask you to give them a little time to prepare it properly. All dishes are prepared to your order when your order is placed, never simmering away for hours or minutes in the kitchen. And that's the big difference at Mangino's. Why not enjoy eating Italian food the way it should be savored and dine at Mangino's Restaurant, located in the south end of Saratoga Lake at Route 9P, just 2 miles from Route 9. A complete line of Italian specialties are served to tempt the palate, and their steaks and chops and seafood are equally as delightful. If you're planning a banquet or party for up to 75 people, call Mangino's for their special party menu. They'll be happy to give you complete details. That's Mangino's Restaurant, the home of truly fine foods, Route 9P, the south end of Saratoga Lake.
The New York Mets leave Amos Otis in the ballgame. He's in left field in place of Shamsky. Now in the top half of the 9th inning, it is top of the batting order up for the St. Louis Cardinals, Lou Brock. Brock is 2 for 4 in this game tonight. Garrett up near the edge of the grass against the bunting possibility. Ball is bunted back to the mound. McGraw has it placed to Craneville in time to get Brock. He tried to bunt his way on. So there's one away, and Kurt Flood's coming up. He's 1 for 4, had a base hit, and scored in the 5th inning. Jim McAndrew, who started for the Mets and pitched the first 7 innings, is off the hook now. He left the game as pitcher of record on the losing side, but now the score is tied 2-2. Pitchers of record are the pitchers in the ballgame right now. Doug McGraw's pitch is in there for a called strike. Garrett at third, playing even with the bag and guarding the line. There's a swing and a drive into center. It is Agee coming in, and he pulls it out of the grass for the out. He pulled it right off the top of the grass for the out. Agee with a shoestringer. Looked for all the world as though that would be a base hit. And Agee came in, threw the glove down right to the top of the grass, and fielded it cleanly for the out on the line drive. 2 away. That'll bring up Veda Pensa. He is 1 for 4. He doubled in the first inning. He was on an error by Boswell in the 5th inning. But apparently pulled the bat off the ball. It's out of the strike zone for ball 1. Hudson had an idea of bunting his way on, but it is ball 1. Now he does bunt the ball foul this time back over the screen. Crowd reaction to a catch made in the stands. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 men out, nobody on base. The Cardinals batting in the top half of the 9th inning. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Breaks high. 2-1 to Veda Pinson with Joe Torre on deck. If you want to look ahead to the bottom of the ninth, the Mets will be scheduled to send up Ron Swoboda, Jerry Grody, and Bud Harrelson. Cardinals 2 and the Mets 2. This is a 2-1 pitch to Veda Pinson. It's high. McGraw goes behind 3-1. And the 3-1 delivery. Swung on and hit in the air to right, and Swoboda moves over and makes the catch. Side is out with no runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. In the middle of the ninth inning, the score is tied. The Mets 2 and the Cardinals 2.
When you're building or buying a house, you naturally want your heating system to be clean, dependable, safe, and economical. That's why so many builders of quality homes specify oil heat. No competitive fuel heats cleaner than modern oil. Oil burners are expertly engineered, precision-built equipment. You can rely on them no matter how bad the weather, and here's why. Unlike other heating systems, your fuel supply is right at home when you use oil. You don't have to worry about service interruptions. Dawney Oil Corporation, your local Shell fuel oil dealer, will be happy to show you how little it costs to install a safe, reliable oil heating system in your home. They'll also explain how little it costs to keep your home comfortable and warm with clean, modern Shell heating oil. Call them today, 885-6224. That's 885-6224 for the Dawney Oil Corporation. Call today, 885-6224.
Now the Mets come up here in the bottom half of the ninth inning, and the chant of "Let's Go Mets" from the Met fans. Ron Swoboda is facing Bob Gibson. Here's a pitch high for a ball. The Mets will try to pull it out in the bottom half of the ninth inning. Jerry Grody is on deck. Score tied 2-2. Gibson's pitch. And it's in for a called strike. It's 1-1. One delivery. Popped up to the right side. And second baseman Julian Javier is there. Makes the play. One away. Towering pop off the bat of Swoboda, and Jerry Grody comes up. Grody's been up 3 times and grounded out 3 times. Gibson takes a side from McCarver, and here's the pitch. Foul back off the screen, out of play. Ron Taylor up and throwing for the Mets. Ron Taylor now throwing in the Met bullpen. The number 7 man in the batting order is at the plate. Gibson with the pitch, breaks inside. It's 1-1 now to Grody. And that's starting play tonight with a magic number of 2. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Foul back and out of play. It goes to 1-2 now to Grody. The Mets scored first here tonight when they got a run in the bottom of the third. But the Cardinals picked up 2 in the top of the fifth to go ahead. Mets tied it in the bottom of the eighth. And now batting in the bottom of the ninth. One-two delivery to Jerry Grody. Low and away. It's 2-2. Gibson with a record of 18 wins and 12 losses. He's trying to get into the 20-game winning circle again. He won 22 last year. Swing and a miss. He strikes out Grody. That's only the 3rd strikeout for Gibson tonight. Two Mets are out here in the bottom half of the ninth inning, and Bud Harrelson's coming up. Ron Taylor continues to throw in the Met bullpen, with McGraw scheduled up next. Swinging a ground ball, hammered to the hole into right for a base hit. Harrelson turns and holds at first with a ground single to right. So now the winning run is on at first. Doug McGraw comes out shedding the jacket as he comes, and apparently he's going to bat for himself. Doug McGraw will bat for himself. He's a right-hand batter, despite the fact that he's a left-hand pitcher. In the American League, the Boston Red Sox defeated the New York Yankees 8-3. Mel Stottlemyre took the loss. He was shooting for his 20th victory and did not get it. Vicente Romo got the win. Carl Yastrzemski hit his 38th homer. Tony Conigliaro hit his 20th, and then Yastrzemski hit his 39th. Joe Pepitone hit his 26th for the Yankees. Cleveland beat Baltimore 3-1. Sam McDowell got the win. Tom Phoebus took the loss. Frank Robinson hit his 32nd. McGraw batting for himself. Here's the pitch. Swung on and foul back. It's strike one. In Detroit, in the middle of the first inning, Washington nothing. Detroit coming to bat. Casey Cox against Mickey Lolich in time called because of rain. In the middle of the sixth, Minnesota 4 and Kansas City 2. Pitch to McGraw, and it is bunted on and missed. It's strike two. So Gibson has a two-strike count to McGraw. Two men out, runner at first. Bottom half of the ninth inning, score tied 2-2. Here's the pitch. In there for a call, strike three, so we'll be going into extra innings. McGraw called out on strikes. 4 strikeouts for Gibson. No runs are hit, no errors, and 1 man left. The end of 9 full innings of play, the score is tied. The Mets 2 and the Cardinals 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Harry Von Zell with a message from the Government Educational Foundation.
When you buy a house or a car, you pretty much read every word in your mortgage papers or your order form. Why then, when you have an investment in freedom, don't you study the contract you have with the United States of America? Every American is a contract citizen of the United States. We live under laws which we permit to be passed. We carry on our day-to-day activities under regulations and ordinances approved by our elected officials. But behind all of these statutes is a document many know about, but few have ever really studied, the Constitution of the United States. Here is your opportunity to get this living work without cost or obligation. For your copy of the United States Constitution, write to Law and Order, Box 1627, Washington, D.C., zip 20013. Law and Order, Washington, D.C., Box 1627, zip 20013.
A public service message from the Government Educational Foundation.
Joe Torre leading off in the top of the 10th for the St. Louis Cardinals. Pittsburgh Pirates are batting in the bottom of the ninth inning, trailing the Philadelphia Phillies by 1 run. It's 4-3. Pitch is high and tight for a ball. Into 5, it was Atlanta 2 and Houston 2. But Houston's made 2 pitching changes in the 6th inning. Here's a pitch high. Jim Bowden relieved Jim Ray for Houston in the 6th, and Jack Billingham also in the 6th. George Stone has been all the way for the Atlanta Braves. Atlanta's starting play tonight. 1/2 game back of the division-leading San Francisco Giants. That pitch is a little low, and McGraw goes behind 3-0 now to Torrey with McCarver on deck. Cincinnati beat the Dodgers 6-3 in the first game. Second game is through 5. Cincinnati leading 3-0. Pete Rose hit a home run. That's in for a called strike. It's 3-1. This afternoon, Montreal beat Chicago 7-3. Bill Stoneman over Kenny Holtzman. Here's Here's a 3-1 delivery to Torrey. Check swing, foul ball off to the right side and out of play. Count runs full at 3-2. Pitch, foul back and out of play. The Atlanta Braves got 4 runs in the top of the 6th. So going now to the bottom of the 6th, it's Atlanta 6 and Houston 2. Right here, it's the Mets 2 and the Cardinals 2 in the top of the 10th. This is a payoff pitch. High fly ball to left field. Amos Otis is there. And he makes the catch. So there's one away, and that brings up Tim McCarver. Grounded out second to first, struck out, fly to center, and popped to short. McCarver's a left-hand batter. Here's a pitch. Low for a ball. Mike Shannon next in the order for St. Louis. Delivery. Swung on and foul back. It's 1-1. Jerry Grody sends out a sign, and here is the 1-1 pitch. Line into left. That's a base hit. Amos Otis can't get it. It hops over his head. It'll be extra bases for McCarver. He is around second on his way to third and holds up now and goes back to second. That ball took a wicked hop high over the head of Amos Otis out in left field and goes as a double for Tim McCarver. With one man out in the 10th, the Cards have a runner at second, and Mike Shannon's coming up. Shannon has won for 4. He's a right-hand batter. That would have been a solid single, but then took that hop and bounded high over the head of Otis in left field. Carver checked. Here's a pitch. Swung on and fouled off. It's strike 1. Javier waiting there on deck. Umpire Andy Olson around to brush off the plate now. Cardinals 2 runs, 12 hits here tonight. The Mets 2 runs, 7 hits. Doug McGraw checks. Here's the pitch. Low for a ball. It's 1-1. Tomorrow afternoon at Wrigley Field in Chicago, the Montreal Expos take on the Chicago Cubs again. Tomorrow night, the Mets meet the St. Louis Cardinals here again. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Swung on, hit on the ground to third. Garrett comes up with it, looks the runner, throws to first in time, no advance. McCarver holds it second on the infield out, and Javier is coming up. Javier fouled to third, grounded out third to first, doubled and singled. He's 2 for 4 here tonight. Javier is hitting .284 for the season. Jerry Grody out for a word with Tug McGraw. And they're going to put Javier on. An intentional walk to Javier, and they'll pitch to Maxwell. Javier is hitting .284. Maxwell's hitting .175, but Phil Gagliano is coming out on deck. He's hitting .228, so it'll be Gagliano that they'll pitch to. An intentional walk being issued by McGraw to Javier. 0-3. Phil Gagliano swinging a bat on deck. He's a right-hand batter. There it is outside. So Javier goes to first with the intentional walk. McCarver holds at second. There are 2 men out. Gagliano will bat for Maxville. Gagliano hitting .228, has 1 homer and 10 runs batted in.
Batting from Maxville, number 16, Phil Gagliano.
Score tied 2-2. Cardinals batting in the 10th. Cardinal runners lead at first and second. McGraw off the stretch. Pitches hammered on the ground to third. Short hop by Garrett. He goes to the bag for the fourth. On the side is retired. So it's 4 runs, a hit, a walk, no errors, and 2 left. In the middle of the 10th inning, the score is tied. Cardinals 2 and the Mets 2.
This is Commissioner Neil L. Moylan of the New York State Department of Commerce. The traveler who comes to New York from another state or another country and has a good time will go home and tell his friends about it. He becomes a Visit New York State salesman for us in his own state or country. And he'll come back himself. That's nice, but what's the point, you might say? Well, the point is that travel is a more than $3 billion a year business in New York State. It provides many jobs and brings in a lot of dollars. It's an important part of the state's economy. The traveler who has gone home happy undoubtedly enjoyed our many and varied vacation land attractions, but he also enjoyed the people he met. Assisting a foreign or an American visitor to New York State can be richly enjoyable, can make new friends, and, not incidentally, can make the traveler feel welcome. A welcome visitor will someday be welcomed back. You can help New York State by being a helpful New Yorker.
Jerry Devanon comes in at shortstop now. Jerry Devanon is playing shortstop in place of Dow Maxwell, who was removed for the pinch hitter.
Playing shortstop, number 26, Jerry Devanon. Bench batter, center fielder, number 20, Tommy.
It's top of the batting order up for the Mets. Tommy Agee to lead off here against Bob Gibson in the bottom of the 10th. There's a swing and a foul ball back and out of play. Agee had a leadoff base hit in the bottom of the 8th and later scored the tying run to keep this game alive for the New York Mets. Agee is 1 for 4 here tonight. Right-hand batter facing right-hand pitcher Bob Gibson. Mets trying now to pull it out in the bottom half of the 10th inning. This pitch is outside low, comes all the way back to the screen. Joe Horner, a left-hander, is up and throwing in the bullpen for the St. Louis Cardinals. Joe Horner. Wayne Garrett is on deck for the Mets. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2 to Tommy Agee. Agee leads the Mets in home runs. He has 26. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Low for a ball, it's 2-2. Gibson started, has been in all the way for the St. Louis Cardinals. He struck out 4 and walked 1, giving up 2 runs on 7 hits. 2-2 pitch. Hit on the ground up the third baseline. It's the foul ball. Falls off into foul territory. Gibson came down off the mound, chased it over. McCarver was pursuing it up the third baseline, and Shannon was coming down to chase it. But Agee comes back with a 2-2 count. The Philadelphia Phillies have defeated the Pittsburgh Pirates by a score of 4-3. Grant Jackson gets his 14th win of the year. Bob Beal takes his 13th loss. He's 13-13. Bob Robertson homered in the 5th with nobody on, his first of the year. Here's a pitch swung on it on the ground, foul back of third, out of play. Pittsburgh Pirates and the Cardinals started the night in a flat-footed tie for third place. Eastern Division of the National League. Here's a foul ball backing out of play. Count holds it 2-2 to Tommy Agee. So at least for the moment, the Cardinals are a half game up on the Pirates because of the Pirate loss. But that is pending the outcome of this game. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Low. It's out full at 3-2. Wayne Garrett swinging the bat there on deck. This will be a payoff pitch as Gibson looks into McCarver, starts the motion. Walking. That is only the second walk issued here tonight by Gibson, but it's a leadoff walk in the 10th. Well, in the 8th inning, under similar circumstances, Garrett sacrificed Agee to second. The Cardinals have to be expecting him to bunt again. It's high. He was around the bunt. Shannon charging from third, and Joe Torrey from his post at first. Joe Horner still throwing down there in the bullpen for the St. Louis Cardinals. Gibson off the stretch. Here's a pitch to Garrett. Bunts the ball foul. It's 1-1. Amos Otis is on deck now. You'll recall that Otis replaced Art Shamsky. So Otis is on deck. This will be a 1-1 delivery. Bunted on and missed. It's strike 2 now. 1-2 to Wayne Garrett. So let's see how manager Gil Hodges plays it here. Does he leave the sacrifice on? Does he take it off and let Garrett swing away? A deterrent to that decision is the possibility of a double play. Torrey is holding against Agee at first. This will be a 1-2 pitch. He squares, takes high. It was on, but he didn't offer when the pitch was out of the strike zone at 2-2. Now Garrett looks again at Eddie Yost to see if it's still on. Gibson takes the sign. 2-2 pitch, it's on. Runner goes, it's inside low, throw to second. He steals it, he's safe. That's number 12 for Agee. They had him off and moving on the pitch. It was a curveball that broke low and inside. So it was a tough chance for McCarver, and it is stolen base number 12 for Agee. The winning run is at second. The count is 3-2 now to Garrett, who can swing away and try to knock in the winning run. Swings and misses. He struck him out. Strikeout number 5 for Gibson, and now Amos Otis goes back to the dugout. Somebody's got a bat for Amos Otis. Boswell is on deck, but he is the next batter after whoever is going to bat, and it's going to be J.C. Martin. Martin, a left-hand batter, and so it's manager Red Schoendienst coming now out of the Cardinal dugout and heading for the mound, and as he does, we're going to step out of here for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
You're listening to New York Mets baseball from WKAJ-FM 102.3 on your FM dial in Saratoga Springs, New York.
This is Lindsey Nelson with Ralph Kiner and Bob Murphy at Shea Stadium in New York. Left-hand batter J.C. Martin coming up here. Season's average of .216, 4 homers and 21 runs batted in. So it's Martin followed by Boswell to have a shot at getting Agee in from second with a winning run. The score is tied 2-2. The Mets are batting in the bottom of the 10th. Martin is batting for Otis. Gibson works off the stretch, pitch to the left-hand batter. Fastball inside, it's ball 1. Martin backs out now. Pulls the golf glove on carefully that he's wearing on his left hand. Now settles himself back into the batter's box. Tommy Agee has taken his lead at second base. This will be a 1-0 pitch to J.C. Martin. Inside, it's 2-0. Gibson working carefully to J.C. Martin here in the bottom of the 10th. Score tied 2-2. Now Martin's back in and waiting. This is a 2-0 delivery, and it's on the way. Swung on, hit on the ground, foul back at first, out of play. Solid smash, but in foul territory. So the count goes to 2-1 now to J.C. Martin. Mets made a bid in the bottom of the 9th. They're making a better bid here in the bottom of the 10th. They have the winning run at second base. Here's a 2-1 delivery. Hit in the air to center field. Flood is right there. Curt Flood makes the catch. Agee holds at second, and it'll be Boswell up. So J.C. Martin batting for Amos Otis, slide out to center. 2 men out, and it's up to Kenny Boswell now. Boswell has gone 0 for 4 here tonight. Came into the game having hit safely in 10 of his last 11 games. For the season, Boswell has an average of 280. Jim McCarver goes out to have a word now with Bob Gibson. The Mets are batting in the bottom of the 10th. McCarver comes back behind the plate. Agee takes his lead. Gibson sets up. Here's a pitch high and tight for a ball to Boswell. Gibson has jammed him most of the night. Been pitching him that way. This is a 1-0 delivery. Curveball high. So he goes behind 2-0. Cranepool swinging the bat lustily there on deck. Two-0 delivery to Boswell. In there for a called strike. It's 2-1. McCarver sends out the sign. Gibson works 2-1. Way inside. He goes behind 3-1 now to Boswell. Gibson works in a hurry. He gets the ball and throws it back. Boswell's outside the batter's box right now. He's back in. Gibson sets up. Here's 3-1. Hit on the ground to first base. Joe Torre has it. Placed to Gibson, covering in time, and the side is retired. In the 10th, no runs, no hits, no errors, a walk, and 1 left. And at the end of 10 full innings of play, the score is the Cardinals 2 and the Mets 2. The New York Mets and the St. Louis Cardinals will be here again tomorrow night. We'll be on the air at 7 p.m. New York time. Game time is 7:05 tomorrow night. It is the last home game of the regular National League season. Mets then will be going on to Philadelphia Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and Sunday afternoon. Then on October 1st and 2nd, the Mets are in Chicago against the Cubs. So we hope you'll avail yourself of the opportunity to be out here tomorrow night. See the New York Mets, who started the night here with a magic number of 2. Any combination of Cub losses and Met victories totaling 2 would give the Mets the championship in the Eastern Division. The Cubs tomorrow afternoon play the Montreal Expos in Chicago, and the Mets tomorrow night play the Cardinals right here. Rod Gasper comes in to play left field now for the Mets. Rod Gasper is the left fielder. Pitcher Bob Gibson will lead off for the Cardinals here in the top of the 11th. Gibson is 1 for 4. With the bases loaded in the 8th, he hit a line drive to right, and Swoboda turned in a circus catch to rob him and save the ball game. There's a swing and a miss. It's strike 1 to Gibson. Tug McGraw still working. This is the 4th inning of relief work for McGraw here tonight. Gibson's been in all the way for the Cardinals. McAndrews started for the Mets and worked the first 7 innings. Here's a swing and a miss. Sturgey
chased it low and away, and it is a 2-strike count now to Bob Gibson with Lou Brock waiting on deck. This pitch is high, and it's 1-2 now to Bob Gibson. One-two offering. Swung on and missed, struck him out. Second strikeout for McGraw. One Cardinal out in the 11th inning, and Lou Brock is coming up. Brock tried to bunt his way on in the 9th inning and was thrown out. He's had 2 base hits tonight. He's 2 for 5. Left-hand batter with a world of speed. Lou Brock. Brock has had 12 homers and 47 runs batted in this year. Swinging a foul ball to the left side, out of play. It's strike one. Kurt Flood is next in the order for the Cardinals. Strike one delivery to Brock. It's high for a ball. It's 1-1. Jerry Grody flashes the sign, and here's the 1-1 pitch. High for a ball. It's 2-1. This will be a 2-1 pitch. Hit in the air to left field, and Rod Gasper's there. He makes the catch. 2 away, and Kurt Flood will be the batter. Flood is 1 for 5. McGraw's pitch. Check swing. It's low in the dirt, and it's ball 1. Flood started to go in late off. Veda Penson's on deck. Cardinals 2, the Mets 2. Now 1-0 delivery. And it's a little low. 2-0 as again Flood started to go in late off. Pitch. Hit on the ground is short. Big hop to Harrelson, and he guns it across in time, and the side is out in order. In the 11th with no runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. And in the middle of the 11th inning, the score is the Cardinals 2, the Mets 2.
Follow the eagle, to live in freedom and security, and saving bonds help to keep our country free. So follow the eagle, the red, white, and blue eagle. Take stock in America, buy bonds and freedom shares. Saving bonds.
In the bottom of the 11th inning, it's Ed Craneville up to lead off for the Mets. Facing Bob Gibson, here's the pitch. Foul back and out of play at strike 1. Craneville is 2 for 4. In Cincinnati, Wayne Granger has made his 85th appearance in relief. His 85th game appearance of the season for the Cincinnati Reds, a new National League record. There's a swing and a fly ball to left center field. Lou Brock is over. Curt Flood is there. Brock calls and makes the catch. One away, and Ron Swoboda's coming up. He's 1 for 4. The old record was Ted Abernathy's 84 games. The Major League record is Wilbur Wood's 86 games in the American League last year for the White Sox. Granger replaced Arrigo in the 7th inning, with Cincinnati leading 4-0 over the Dodgers. Pitch to Swoboda is in for a strike. Swoboda is 1 for 4. There's a swing and a ground ball deep short. Backhanded by Devane, and throw to first, and he is safe at first base. Throw was high, and Torre had to go up into the air. It's a base hit for Swoboda. Swoboda hit that ball to deep short. Jerry Devane, the shortstop, went into the hole, came up throwing, but not in time. The Mets have the winning run on at first with one man out, and Jerry Grody's the batter. Base hit number 8 for the Mets in the game. Grody's gone 0 for 4. He's a right-hand batter. And there's a ball off the glove of Javier at second base out into right field. Picked up out there by Benson and played back, runners at first and second. A hard smash off the glove of second baseman Javier, continuing on out into right field. Swoboda moved to second base. Grody's on at first base. It is a base hit. Now it's Harrelson coming up with runners at first and second and one man out. Ron Taylor is up and throwing in the Met bullpen. Ron Taylor. Bud Harrelson, switch hitter batting left. In and waiting now. Here's Gibson's pitch. Swung on and fouled off at strike 1. Tug McGraw is on deck. Swoboda is the runner at second. Grody is the runner at first. It was a base hit for Grody off the glove of second baseman Julian Javier. Harrelson walked, bunted his way out, walked, and singled so far tonight. Breaking pitch a little low. It's 1-1 now to the Mets shortstop. This will be a 1-1 delivery. Runners leading first and second. Swung on and missed. Gibson took a lot off of that one. Had Harrelson out in front. It's 1-2. The Mets have 9 hits now off Gibson. Cardinals have 12 off McAndrew and McGraw. The winning run is represented by Swoboda at second. Grody's on at first. One away. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Land into left center field for a base hit. Swoboda's rounding third, coming home. Here's Flood, throw, and he is safe. The ball game is over. The ball game is over. The Mets win it by a score of 3-2 on Bud Harrelson single. Bud Harrelson singled in the winning run. Curt Flood came up throwing, but he was not in time to get Swoboda sliding at the plate, and the Mets have won it in 11 innings. The New York Mets magic number is 1. The Mets magic number is 1. One Met victory or one Chicago Cub loss will give the Mets the championship in the Eastern Division of the National League. That was a solid line drive hit by Bud Harrelson over the head of shortstop Jerry Devane. Out into left center field. Curt Flood, who was playing a shallow center, came up throwing, but Swoboda hit the dirt at the plate and was in without a tag for the run that wins the ball game for the Mets in 11 innings by a score of 3-2. Tug McGraw gets his 9th win, and Bob Gibson takes his 13th loss. So the New York Mets have now won 95 games. They take a lead of 6 full games over the Chicago Cubs, and the Cubs and the Mets have 6 to play. So the magic number is 1. The magic number is 1. The worst the Mets can possibly do now is tie for the division championship. If they lost all 6 remaining games, they would still get a tie for the division championship. 1 Met victory, 1 Cub loss would give the Mets the championship in the Eastern Division. And it was some kind of a ball game here tonight at Shea Stadium. It was Jim McAndrew starting against Bob Gibson. Gibson with 18 victories was looking for his 20th. And the New York Mets scored first. In the bottom half of the 3rd inning, Bud Harrelson drew a walk. He went to second on Tommy Agee's infield out, and Wayne Garrett singled to right, scoring Tommy Agee. That run held up until the top half of the 5th inning, when with 2 men out, Lou Brock legged out an infield hit off McAndrew. Curt Flood singled to left field. Then Veda Pinson came up, hit a ground ball between first and second. Cranepool made a move for it, moved across in front of Boswell. The ball kicked off Boswell's glove out into right field, and the Cardinals had a run, so it was a 1-1 ball game. Then Joe Torre singled off the leg of McAndrew, a hard smash to the mound. It kicked off the shin of McAndrew over toward the 3rd baseline, and that knocked in the go-ahead run. So the Cardinals led it by a score of 2-1. The New York Mets, in the bottom half of the 8th inning, tied it up when Agee had a leadoff single. He was sacrificed to second by Wayne Garrett. Art Shamsky singled him home, and so the Mets were back in the ballgame. Tug McGraw had relieved Jim McAndrew after 7 innings, and so now McAndrew was off the hook, and the game proceeded until the bottom half of the 11th inning, when with 1 man out, Ron Swoboda legged out a base hit to short. Then Jerry Grody had an infield hit, putting runners at first and second. Bud Harrelson slammed a line drive over the head of shortstop Jerry Devannon that scored Ron Swoboda from second, a game-winning hit.
On September 23rd, 1969, the New York Mets clinched at least a tie for the National League Eastern Division pennant by defeating the St. Louis Cardinals, the defending National League champions, by the score of 3-2 at New York in 11 innings. It was a hit by Bud Harrelson that clinched the tie for the surging, fabulous, sensational New York Mets. Harry Carey now, and we're in the 11th inning, tied 2-2.
Wayne Granger is relieved for Cincinnati in the 7th against the Dodgers. He set a new Major League record yesterday, appearing in his 84th game, I believe it was. He tied the record, and today he just set a new one. Here's the pitch. Cranepool is a high fly ball, left center. It'll be caught. Brock is there waiting, and he has it. Cranepool flies to Brock. Here's Swoboda, 1 out of 4. There's a ground ball. Nice play by Devannon, long throw. Save! He pulled Torrey off the back. Now the stretch. The pitch. There's a line smash. Base hit. Past Javier. Here's Swoboda holding up at second base. A low line drive. Javier went to his left. The ball skipped off his glove. Another scratch hit. Here's Buddy Harrelson now. Runners at first and second, 1 away. The Mets again with a chance to win it. A victory would assure them of no worse than a tie and would make their magic number to clinch just 1. 2 strikes and a ball. The pitch. There's a line drive, base hit. Watch the pass of play. Here's Flood's throw. It's going to be close. Hey, the Mets win. The Mets win. They have clinched the tie for the pennant. Listen to the crowd. They beat Bob Gibson for the 3rd time this year. And every time it's been in this kind of a ball game. Mrs. Payson is the owner who bought this ball club with the idea of losing money and winds up making nothing but more millions, is walking around with the one finger held up in the air.
Then on September 24th, 1969, the Mets clinched it, defeating the St. Louis Cardinals 6-0. Gary Gentry pitched the shutout for the Mets, and they won the National League Eastern Division title. Harry Carey announces as the Cardinals
are at bat in the ninth inning with a man out, and the batter is Joe Torre.
Cubs are sure to finish second, and the Mets, after this inning, first. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here it is. Double play ball is short. Harrison the second run. The Mets are captain. The Mets are captain. Holy cow! Look at that scene. Mass bedlam. Everybody trying to get off the field. Thousands of fans are out there already. Confetti. Things are being thrown up. What happened? Fans are trying to get off the field at the line. The policemen are trying their best to keep the fans from getting onto the field. They've gotten the players off the field and down the runway. The Mets are champs. The New York Mets. Casey Stengel out in Glendale, California, take the ball. And I can't imagine a happier sight unless it be peace in Vietnam tonight. And all our boys back home.